friends, welcome back to my book channel. Today we are spinning for my November TBR. The TBR wheel is back and I missed it. I love the TBR wheel so much and I know everybody's with me on this, but how the freaking heck are we in November almost? Like that is just absolutely crazy to me. Like we're getting into the winter season and the holiday reading, and I don't know how I feel about that. Honestly, I love fall reading. I've been reading a ton of fantasy books lately. As always, I have put the books from my physical TBR that I am in the mood for reading in the month of November into my TBR wheel. And then in addition to my physical TBR, I've also added any books that just sound like they would hit in this November fall transitioning into winter season. And some of those books are on Kindle Unlimited and the others are available to check out from my library. All right, I think I'm just gonna spin for book number 1. Honestly, this month, I think I'm feeling more fantasy and just like more moody books. I don't have like my heart set on anything. Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. Let me find it. I don't know if I've read any romances in the month of October so far. At the time that I'm filming this, we do have a few days left and I'm planning on picking up a romance, but at this point, I really don't think I've touched the genre. And so that makes me really happy that Before We Were Strangers got picked. All that I know, oh my gosh. Can you guys hear that? It is dumping rain outside, came out of nowhere. Wow. All that I know about this book is it's a second chance romance that takes place in New York City. I'm pretty sure our two main characters in here were either friends as kids or they knew each other when they were younger, and then someone spots the other person in the subway of New York City. And it's like, honestly, all of my favorite things. I was just in New York City oh my gosh, this rain is crazy. Let me take a video with my phone. Can you see that? As I was saying before, second chance romance is my absolute favorite trope in a romance book. I don't know what it is, if it's the then now timeline where you're putting pieces together or what. I absolutely love it. I just feel like if you have a second chance romance, inherently there is depth woven into the book. I've also heard amazing things about this. And yeah, I was just in New York City. So I feel like picturing this, like I think part of this takes place at NYU and I was just at NYU. And so I'm like, I think it's going to be so clear reading this and like picturing it in my mind, which makes me really excited. All right. So that is book number 1. We are now spinning for book number 2. And again, I'm kind of feeling like moody, maybe some fiction, maybe some fantasy books this month. Oh my gosh, it looks like we are going to be reading Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Vow of Thieves is the second book actually, let me grab it. In the Dance of Thieves duology. I read this book a few months ago, and this was one of the books that was like, had been on my physical TBR for so long, and for literally no reason, I just kept putting it off. And I finally got to it a few months ago, earlier this year, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave this like a 4-star, 3.75, 4-star in there. I honestly don't remember, but I enjoyed this. I had a good time with it and I liked the way that this book ended. It definitely gave a good amount of resolution, but at the same time, it opens up like a whole new set of questions. And one of my biggest goals for 2025 was to finish series that I had started. And so now I've started it. I'm like, okay, it's only one more book to finish out the duology. And just at a glance, this book follows our two main characters, Kazi and Jace. It's a fantasy world. There is a little bit of magic in there. And Jace is the son of like the leader of this kingdom, and his father passes away. So Jace is now taken on a lot of power. And Kazi is basically hired by the queen to go on an undercover mission to do something that we don't know about where Jace lives. They meet, it's enemies to lovers, there's some forced proximity in a fantasy context, which is really cool. I don't know, I definitely enjoyed this. There wasn't as much magic in it as I wanted, but like again, enough for me to want to continue this series. And so I'm really happy that Vow of Thieves got chosen. I just feel like it's the perfect book for November. That was book number 2. We are on to book number 3 now. And I always love to do this, just kind of talk through some of the options. I just picked up The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And so this is a book that I would really love to read soon. And similar to that, I've heard The Wedding People is really, really good. I think both of those are sadder books. And I honestly would kind of love to read like an emotional, gut-wrenching book. I'm just kind of in the mood for that. And then A Darker Shade of Magic is one of my favorite books, and I really would love to reread it this fall and winter season. So I feel like those are my top 3 books, but as always, everything that's in the wheel is something that I'm interested in reading in this month, basically. So yeah, can't complain. Wild Eyes. Okay, this is crazy. Book number 3 that the TBR wheel has chosen is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series, and this is a small town romance series. Elsie Silver is very well known for her Chestnut Spring series, which is like a small town cowboy romance series that I personally really enjoyed. And I read the first book in this series, the Rose Hill series, and I honestly did not like it. I think I gave it a 2.5. And so this book got chosen in another TBR a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago, probably like 2 months ago, and I didn't get to it. But the thing is, I did start it. I've started this book like twice, and I like the vibe so far. It just didn't grab my attention enough to make me want to keep reading. All that I can tell you about this book is that our female main character is a famous singer, and she's having like a lot of issues in the spotlight, in the tabloids, whatever. And our male main character works on, I don't actually know what he does, but he is a single father and lives in this small town. And for reasons that I won't say, they meet each other and it goes from there. And I've never really read a one of them is famous trope before, which intrigues me. I think this is good because if I do end up reading like moody, sad books, I'm gonna want to pick up a couple romances in between. That's just how I am. Like I cannot just crank them out. It makes me too sad and messes with my mood way too much. So yeah, I'm happy about this. I've started it and I feel like I need to finish it. Like I do not like starting books and then just leaving them there. Like if it's a DNF, that's a whole different story. But this one I like started and then just got distracted with other books and haven't picked it up again, which is why I put it in the TBR wheel in the first place. You know, you guys know what I'm saying. Super quick before we continue on with this video, I did just want to tell you guys some very exciting news, and that is that I am officially launching my book club collection on Etsy today. The day that this video is going live, my new book club reader cozy crew neck collection, whatever you want to call it, is officially live, and you guys can get yourself or your friends or your book club or your sister or your mom the cutest book club crew necks ever to exist on this planet is what I am declaring. So the first one is this one that I am wearing right now, and I cannot decide which one is my favorite. I just love them so much. The first one says, "This is my book club uniform," with a little book on it. It's embroidered and comes in the white crew neck color with black embroidery, and they're really, really soft. I just absolutely love this one. And then let me grab the second one. I don't know what it is about this one, but for some reason it gives Sabrina Carpenter to me. Like if Sabrina Carpenter were to wear a book club crew neck, it would be this one. And it says Girls Night Book Club. I'm in a book club with like 10 girls where we read a new book together every single month. And I just thought it would be really cute to make crew necks that are inspired by the book club that I have with my girls. And so that's why this one is literally a shout out to Girls Night Book Club. And as I was designing these, I figured a lot of girls that are watching my videos have book clubs with their friends that you're meeting up after work, like in the evening. And so yeah, it just kind of got my creative juices flowing and made me really, really excited to make these products. So if you guys are interested in purchasing either crew neck in the book club collection, I'm gonna link my Etsy shop down below, and you guys can use code BOOKTUBE10 for 10% off of your purchase. Again, I only give that code to you guys because you guys are my BookTube besties, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Okay, that is enough of me talking about my favorite things ever. Let's go back to my November TBR. because we still have some more books to pick. Okay, so far we've only chosen one book from the physical TBR, and honestly, I have done a lot of book shopping lately, and so I think new priority over the vibes is just get books from the physical TBR. I have been reading, I think the last 3 books that I've read them all on my Kindle, and I've been absolutely loving it, but I feel myself getting into the physical book mood again. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to just really go back and forth between the two of them. Oh my God, I have no idea which one this is. Battle of the Labyrinth. Hey, I always forget to get these down from my bookshelf. This year, I decided to reread the Percy Jackson series for the first time since I was probably like 10 years old. Honestly, is the last time that I read these. It was the only time that I read these, and I've been having so much fun. Honestly, the TBR wheel has been killing it. Like, it picks a Percy Jackson book every single month, and we have made it up to the 4th book. I think this is the 4th month in a row that I would be reading a book in the Percy Jackson series, and I've just been having so much fun. And the thing that's really struck me as I've made my way through the series is I remember like next to nothing the further into the series we get. So like I just finished The Titan's Curse, book 3, a couple weeks ago. Tell me why I could not have told you a single thing about that book. Like, I did not remember any of it, and the things that like kind of came back to me, I thought happened like way later in the series, and so I'm going to remember probably literally nothing about this one. But I will say that when I did read the series as a kid, I'm pretty sure the 4th book was my favorite. Also, speaking of book club, my book club, the girls we met last night, we were talking about doing a nostalgia November, like as our book club book. I don't think that's actually what we're going to end up doing, but it's made me think about how maybe I want to do a nostalgia November for myself. And this would be perfect because I just love Percy Jackson. This was my childhood all-time favorite series. And so I'm deciding right now that I am officially doing a nostalgia November with Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth. Okay, so I'm like, I don't know if we count that as my physical TBR, because I do own it, but I've already read it. It's a reread. But let's be honest, I was probably going to read that irrespective of if the wheel chose it or not. So it's probably for the best that the TBR wheel chose it. Okay, guys, we're 4 books in. 2 books left to go. I'm always very careful to count now because a couple times ago I completely miscounted and it was really embarrassing. And I'm like, guys, I promise I do know how to count to 6. I do know how to count to 6. Yes, yes. Yes, this might be the book I wanted the most, and I kind of just completely overlooked it earlier. Before I utter a single word about this book, look at that cover. Tell me this was not made for October and November. Like, just take that in. The fall leaves, the acorns, the mushrooms, the pine cones. Like, guys, if I don't read this in November, I will be deeply disappointed in myself. This is book 2 in the Emily Wilde series. This is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. And I read the first book, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, several years ago now, like probably 2 years ago. And I liked it, but it wasn't a standout read to me. These books are cozy fantasy. We're following our main character who is a researcher. She studies fairies, and we're literally just reading her journal entries as she studies the fairies and tells us what she did that day and what she learned that day. And there is a subtle undercurrent of romance in these that's also like really cute and adorable. It's probably one of my favorite parts of this series. But as I've thought about it over the years, there are certain series that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to finish that. Like, I don't have any desire to continue them. But this is a series that I'm like, no, I did enjoy the first book enough to continue reading it. At the very least, try out the audiobook. And these editions also are gorgeous. I have, where is it? I have the first book in this series in this, again, Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and I just think they are so, so pretty, and they both have deckled edges, which I think is stunning. I don't know if you can really see that, but I just love these, and so I was like, honestly, it wasn't bad. Like, I really do prefer action-packed fantasies. Like, that is definitely more where I sit in the fantasy world. I like when there's a lot of things happening. I didn't get to this in October. It wasn't in my October TBR, so it wasn't really a priority, but I'm really happy that the TBR wheel picked it for November, because I know that if I don't read this in November, it's just like not going to get read until next fall, and that's like not good. All right, we have 1 more book left to go. And like, I do this on purpose. Like, every book in here I would be pretty happy with, Like again, I kind of just want like moody fantasy vibes, like fantasy or fiction. Like, ugh, okay, I'm just gonna let the wheel decide because I really, really do try to read what the wheel chooses or at least prioritize those books. Like sometimes I'll do something else. I feel like that barely spun at all. The Friend Zone, not what I asked for, but is a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. Our sixth and final book is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. You guys know that I have been talking about reading Abby Jimenez's backlist ever since I finished her most recent release. I think it's called, what was her most recent book called? I'll pop it on the screen. But I've read her 4 most recent releases at this point, and her new book isn't coming out until like end of March, early April. I think it's end of March, and I can't wait that long. And so I have decided that instead of waiting, I'm just gonna go back and read all the books that she wrote before her most recent ones. And so I know that there are 3 books in this series. This is the first one. And I actually don't know a single thing about this book. I know that this is like most people's least favorite Abby Jimenez book. And like, I'm okay with that because like you got to start somewhere to get really good at what you do, you know? But I just like love her writing and I love the depth that she's able to include in her romances. It's just my favorite thing ever. Like a rom-com doesn't really do it for me, but a romance that has depth and is gonna make me cry is my absolute favorite thing. And I'm not saying that this is that, but I'm saying that the author that Abby Jimenez has become is that. And so, yeah, I would just love to be a true fan and to have read all of her books because I love her and I discovered her way too late. Way too late. Okay, that means these books are going back on the shelf, unfortunately. They're getting read another month. And of course, let's review the official November TBR. First up, we have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth by Rick Riordan, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett, The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. And then books that I do not own, we have Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver and Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Okay, that is the full TBR. I am so excited. I feel like we have a good mix. We have a good mix of genres in here. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below the scarf emoji because we're getting into the winter seasons, you guys know. And don't forget to check out my Etsy shop and use code booktube10 if you want 10% off your order. Yeah, okay, I think that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I hope you are having a great day and a great month, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!